start it all again.
Yeah.
You kind of just walked in like,
Yeah.
hello.
And welcome to Home Bargains. Hi and welcome to another Abus and Beyond video, and today we're here at Dolphin Motorhomes. We're going to be looking at the Swift Trekker. Now this was new for 2024, so let's check it out. Let's start at the front. So you can tell that this is a Ford. Now this isn't the brand new Ford Transit, this is the slightly older one. That means it is actually a bigger chassis on the older Ford Transits. The newer ones are slightly smaller, so it's nice to see that this is on the old one so that you get the most amount of space out of your camper van. It's a 2-litre turbo diesel, and I think you can all agree it actually looks really sort of off-roady, quite like wildy. It's quite a cool looking van. I like the colour that they've put it in. They've got it in this sort of matte sort of grey. It's quite hard to tell because it's a bit damp and drizzly today. And then they've got these decals on the front for the Trekker design. These little yellow bits as well. I think that's quite cool. Now let's work our way down the side, and you can see that they've put black alloy wheels on these ones. It actually does, again, give it that quite off-roady look. Quite beefy tyres. I mean, not as beefy as the ones that we always go for. We go for crazy beefy ones, but you can always beef them up if you want to. Moving down the side, actually one thing to notice here is you can see around the edge they've got these fitted blinds in, and you can see from this side specifically where they have gone. So they're the inbuilt blinds into it, but you can see how much of the window they do actually take up. However, it is quite nice to have inbuilt blinds in the van, but it's interesting to see it from the outside. Moving back, you've got your electrical hookup point here. You've got a window on this side. This is quite interesting. You've actually got a little slidey door that lifts up, and you've got a outdoor shower point here. Now that actually does attach probably through to the bathroom that's inside, which we'll have a look at in a bit. And at the top there you have a little roof vent. That's very well enclosed actually, that's quite clever. And you can't really see it in the shower inside, so again we'll have a look at that when we go inside. You've got your cassette toilet point here. Moving back, you've got more decals obviously on the side, all in the Trekker logo sort of style. Nice Trekker sign up there. You've got side pods on the side of here as well, where they've put the windows. And you can see the little window here plus the larger one there. So I just want to take your attention down here. Now these are plasticky. Now they are actually fake rock sliders, they're not the real ones. I think the likelihood is you're not actually going to be going off road despite how it looks. You know, the idea is for the real rock sliders if they would take the impact if you went over rocks. However, in this case, it being plastic, it's not going to do a lot. But it makes it look off-roady, so I'm guessing that's why they've gone with it. Let's move a bit further back. One of my favourite features, as always, is a barbecue point coming round the back. I do like this. So you've got 2 windows at the back here, but I do like it when it fills the entire space. That does mean that they don't open, however it does look pretty cool. Oh, one thing I should say is there's water points down here as well. You've got your wastewater point and you've got the exit point for the diesel heater. So coming around to the passenger side, you actually have a vent for the hot water point here, and then you've got the water filler point here as well. You've got to make sure that you're not filling up water and opening the door at the same time, because that could cause a few issues, but something to be mindful of. You've got more decals on the side, more of these side pods. This is, I guess, to expand the bed that's in the back, which again we'll show you in a bit. But no window on this side. There is a window here, again it's an opening one. And then if you look up above me, we've got a very good size 2-lay wind out awning and an awning light above that, and also a step, electric step. Now one of the most obvious features I haven't talked about yet is up here. Now this actually does have a pop top, so I think it's time that we go and have a look inside this very interesting van. So I just wanted to interrupt from my editing suite here, and I just wanted to say a huge thank you firstly to everyone who stuck by us during our break in December. I know we take a little break in December sometimes just because it is a chaotic month for us, but we are back We are back doing the tours, the videos, we will be doing plenty of travelling in 2025. We've got another huge trip actually planned, which we're so excited for. But yeah, idea is we're going to be taking you all along with us on this journey. Now, I don't know if any of you have got any great New Year's resolutions for 2025, but one of mine over the last year was to be able to do some latte art. So while I talk to you about one of our paid partnerships, I'm also going to show you how far I've come with the latte art. Well, we're really excited to be continuing our long-term paid partnership with BetterHelp into 2025. Kicking off a new year isn't always easy, and while streaming of future camper adventures is inspiring, sometimes it's not enough to tackle the real challenges of our mental health. That's why we're passionate about prioritising mental wellness, and we found that BetterHelp makes it incredibly easy to get started. Having just survived December, I can easily say it's a real tough month. Hence, that's why we often have a little break in December. The pressure to make the holidays magical can be exhausting, and honestly, my mental health takes a hit. But when I take the time to focus on myself, I feel like a better mum, more creative, more productive, and just overall calmer and happier. And isn't that what we're all striving for? I haven't done it alone. BetterHelp has been a trusty sidekick for me, and it can be for you too. With BetterHelp, you'll be connected with a credentialed therapist who's tailored to your needs. Their short online questionnaire matches you with someone whose expertise aligns with what you're looking for. And if your first therapist isn't the right fit, no problem, BetterHelp makes it easy to switch. Plus, their customer support team is always ready to help if you have any questions. The best part, you can do this all from your computer or phone. Whether you prefer phone calls, video sessions, or even messaging, BetterHelp gives you flexibility to prioritise your mental health in a way that works for you. Whoa, look at that. That's nice crema. Use the link on the screen or in the description below and you'll get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. This part is very loud, so I probably won't talk over the top of it. We've seen how much this service has helped our family, and we've heard from so many of you, our subscribers, about how transformative it's been for you too. Talking of transformative, let's see if I can transform this latte into some form of latte art. No pressure. I'll tell you what, I've done a lot worse in my time. So, here is a huge thank you to BetterHelp for continuing to support us in 2025, helping us bring you more videos and, most importantly, better mental health. Look at that. Look. I'll take that. That's not bad.
So as always, starting at the front, 2 captain's chairs, as you can see, that swivel round nicely. You've got armrests on both sides. There's one over there as well. So lovely and comfortable. This one is reclined quite a bit further forward at the minute, but you can get it further back. There we go. So that's quite nice. Yeah, they're comfy actually. They've got a fabric side to them and then like a faux leather insert on the inside. Nicely branded with the Trekker logo at the top there, and quite a modern dark grey finish to them. So yeah, looks smart. At the actual front of the cab, it's a 170 horsepower engine, 2 litre turbo diesel. This one is a manual gearbox. You can get an automatic as an upgrade. And then the actual satellite navigation system, the infotainment system, you have got sat-nav built in, DAB radio, you know, all the usual stuff that you expect nowadays, but also Apple CarPlay, so you can plug in your phone and yeah, use a familiar system that you're well and truly familiar with. Built into the front, you've got these blinds. Might be a bit tricky to get these up from here, but yeah, basically you need 2 arms. You pull these blinds up and they connect all the way up to the top. That's quite nice having them built in. It does protrude a bit into the A pillar, especially if you add that along with the side blinds, again, that are also built in. There you go, round, oh, if I can get round, there we go. They kind of go down and hook into there. So really neat when they're closed. Complete blackout, but having this surround all the way around does actually, you know, reduce the window aperture a little bit. So you have a fairly big A-pillar, so you just have to be a bit cautious as you're pulling out of junctions. But it's probably a nice compromise to have, rather than having to mess around with internal stick-on screens. That's quite nice. A decent amount of head height. You do have a little bit of storage in the top here. They're like individual trays that you can put stuff, not a huge amount, but I would rather have less storage but be able to stand up and get in and out of the driver's seat nice and easy. That is a big thing for me. I quite like having that head height, and it's quite nice having the mood lighting up here as well. So you've got mood lighting that follows all the way up to the side. Obviously no skylight here because you do have the pop top roof. However, when the roof is down, there is actually a skylight right up at the top there. Can you see that? So that's pretty amazing. You don't see many pop tops with skylights built into them. So that's pretty smart. And that is a really long way up there, but we'll have a look at that later on. Now those two swivel chairs form part of this half dinette area. So you've got a removable table. It does have a little drop down thing that then extends that right out. So if you're sat in that passenger seat there, you can join in the party and have some food to eat as well. It's quite a big table actually, and you can remove it. It does detach from this rail here and you can store it in the back when you're not using it. These seats, gosh, it's such a soft padding, so to the point where if you sat on this left hand side here, you almost fall out if you went around the corner. But they're comfy enough to sit in, and you know, as with all these seats, a little bit upright and a little bit narrow. You know, it's often the case with these style of seats, but they do have ISOFIX built in, so you can add 2 narrow car seats here or 1 normal car seat. Seat belts, so you can travel with 4 people in this van. But yeah, decent sized table, quite high up as well, which I quite like for eating, but some people may not. You do have lights directly above that you can turn on, which is quite nice. And just below those lights, you've actually got these storage pockets, which are a fairly neat idea. You can just add bits in. The window starts a little bit further back, so if you were traveling in this, you know, it's fine, you can see out, but obviously you have a limited view here, but you've got a good view out the front, so that's not an issue. The window does open, as you'd expect, and then it also has fly screen and then blackout blinds. Just below that window, you do actually have a 12-volt socket. Oh, actually it's not 12 volt, it's a USB socket. It's got 2 USB-A ports in there, and that's you can switch that on and off when you're not using it. And then there is actually a real tiny shelf right here. I'm not sure you could put much in there apart from pens maybe, but yeah, maybe your phone would slot in there. That's not too much of an issue, somewhere to put that, I suppose.
Be good for the kids' crayons.
Yeah. And then above you have an opening locker, which is an alright size, feels good quality. 3 hinges, you know, so it's nice and durable. Does that open? No, that doesn't open. But yeah, you've got a bit of storage there, and then above, oh, I can't just get out. And then above you have this zippered pocket, which is really big actually. So tons of space in there. A bit like our Van der Moon boxes actually, you know, that kind of style fabric. Zipper, and it's got the Trekker like logo.
Something from air traffic here, like these are the aeroplanes.
All part of that Trekker branding. And then just behind that storage pocket, you've got a plug socket, 12-volt socket, and an aerial point as well. So I suspect you would mount your TV here if you were to have one in the van. That allows you to sit in the 2 swivel seats and watch TV. Now, opposite the dinette area is our control station. This is where you control everything in the van. For starters, you've got a smoke detector, you know, heat detector, carbon monoxide detector as well on the front here. And then you also have quite a smart control panel. I've not seen one like this before. You've got control for your lights, you know, you can dim lights, you can put the awning light on and off, you can do like an entry mode. If you go back to the home, you've got your heat. It says internal temperature, -99. It probably is about that. It feels like that. But yeah, 6 degrees outside. So obviously that's not right. Water levels, no water, but then you can also drain your water from here, which is quite smart. But yeah, so that's all your main controls. And then you also have the controls for your heater, if it was all set up, which is not. But yeah, you can control all your heater from there. Nicely backed with the Trekker logo again. Mood lighting across the top here, and then that kind of transitions us up into the roof. So let's take a look at that. So I think ideally this is the primary sleeping area. It is so big up here. Because it raises up at the back as well, you've just got so much space. It is a panoramic pop top, so you can actually open up all this out to the elements if you want to, and you obviously got that skylight, which is great, so that gives loads of natural light up here. If you want, you can open these fly screens. You've got mood lighting all around here, and then you've also got trays where you can put your phone and charge that at night time. Charges, and you can obviously turn your lights on and off. And then there's also a safety net, so if kids are up here, stops them from falling out. And then above you have a skylight which you can open, so that gives you plenty of ventilation and natural light. I imagine in the summer that'd be quite nice having that open. It's not above you, so it won't rain on your head. But yeah, it's December, so it's a little bit cold up here, so let's go back downstairs. So before we take a look at the kitchen, just worth mentioning that on the sliding door you have an opening window again with fly screen and blackout blind, and you do also have a built-in fly screen, which I'll just show you, for the whole door. And it's a little bit unique on this one because it actually has, let's get the carpet out of the way, it actually has like a scribed panel, which I've not seen before, that fits around the door like so. There we go. Usually they're right up to the flat door, but because the Transit has this arch, this arc that goes round, yeah, that's why they've had to do this scribe. So a little bit different, just worth noting. But they're always really nice to have. I kind of wish we'd done that in our self-build van, but I should have put one in before I put the kitchen in. Right, let's take a look at the kitchen on the Trekker. So starting from the top, you've got two opening cupboards that are quite big. Because of the shower room being here, you do have to move back, otherwise you get smacked in the face. But they're, yeah, pretty big cupboards with just one, you can see one shelf at the top here. And then it also has the buttons to turn on and off your water pumps as well. So yeah, nicely finished, got white and like a creamy grey colour. And again, mood lighting along the top there. And then working our way down, you see these all the time. It's you know, your usual dual burner Dometic hob with like a sink combination with hot and cold water. The hob is igniter built into it. And interestingly, I thought, how's this going to work? When you're washing stuff up, surely your bed is going to get wet. But it is actually Perspex built into that. So it's not an open slatted decorative piece, so it does give a bit of protection against your bed.
Nice though, isn't it?
Yeah,
nice,
something a bit different.
That, yeah.
There is also a splashback all along the back here, again with Perspex built into it just to protect it. Just protects anything from any water getting down into that join, which is quite nice to see. Got a bit of prep space here, but if you need more, you do also have an extension bit that pops out. This is almost like a bit of a shelf, but really it's more, the stuff isn't going to stay there. It's more for space to open this extension bit. But on the end of the kitchen, you have the Dometic fridge. It does have a small freezer compartment. I would say it's probably about a 40 or 50 litre fridge. Yeah, so not a massive fridge, but yeah, big enough. It's got a couple of drawers in the bottom and easily accessible. At least you can get stuff when you're outside as well, barbecuing. But then moving back, there are 3 drawers that just slide out. The top one is a cutlery drawer with a bit of extra space around it. Next one down is a fairly big sized drawer actually. And then the bottom one is just an actual fold down flap. You've got a bit of space right at the bottom there, but there is some of it is taken up by just the services, I think, running to and from the front to the back of the van. So not an absolutely massive kitchen, probably fairly comparable in storage space to something like, well, a bit more than a California to be fair, but you know, this isn't a massive van, so it's not a huge amount of storage, but yeah, enough for a...
Oh, those cupboards are pretty big though.
Yeah, those cupboards are big, but once you put some pans and stuff in and cereal. But it's what it is. That's the compromise. There's always a compromise when you're looking at vans. So opposite the kitchen we have the shower area. Just before we go in there is a little hook to hang coats or towel rails on. Towel rails, you don't want to hang a towel rail on there. Coats or towels on there. And then a very heavily magneted door. So you've got to put quite a bit of strength in there because the magnet strip is all the way down the door, so at least it won't come open when you're travelling, that's for sure.
No, but you'll wake everyone up when you go to the loo.
Yeah. And then, it's your sort of traditional washroom as you would expect. You have a cassette toilet, Thetford cassette toilet, that swivels just so you can get plenty of leg room when you are using the loo. You have a flip down sink for washing, and then above the sink you have a mixer tap, and then the actual shower bit is just disconnected at the minute, but the shower would be hung up at the top here, and then it's controlled from the tap here. Obviously hot and cold water, fairly decent size actually, and this is a wet room so you don't have to tackle any shower curtains or anything like that. A bit of mood lighting under here just for this area where you could probably just put your shampoo and shower gel whenever you're having a shower, but there is actually a cupboard where you can secure all your toiletries away when you're travelling and they won't fall out. I think this bit here, because I thought there's no vent in here, but I think this is actually the vent. It is open behind there, so that should get rid of any of your steam when you're actually having a shower. And then there's also a drop down towel rail as well, just for whenever you're drying things after you've had a shower. So in the back, this is the bed area. Well, one of the bed areas. Obviously, you've got the bit at the top. It's a double, just about. It gets a bit narrow at this end. Not too bad at this end. This is okay. This is where you put your pillows, I would guess. But let's have a look at the bed area. Quite like the mood lighting around this sort of patch. Funny enough, I wonder what this was, because it's all like soft and everything, and I thought it might be storage, so I pulled it. It's not. It's just part of the decoration. So yeah, that's just part of the bed. You do have switches here. One's for the big light that goes up the top, dims off nicely, which is quite good. And then this is for that mood lighting behind. So it's nice and soft, quite nice when you're actually sleeping. But yeah, it's just a bit unusual. I just expected some storage to be there. Soft again at the top here, and I think that would come off as well. Maybe you can remove it for winterizing the van actually. That's probably why they're like that. You can take it inside so it doesn't get damp and mouldy. Right up at the top, more lighting. There's another little switch, and there is actually a shelf, but there's no lip on that, so you'd get stuff falling on you if you weren't careful. So at the foot end of the bed, you've got storage up top, and that is a huge cupboard. Probably could do with a shelf though in the middle, because that is massive and you'd have to just stack everything up. You can also get access into this side, and that's actually where the solar MPPT is. So that's your controller box for charging for the solar panel and things like that. So it just gives you access for maintenance on that. You shouldn't have to touch that though. But yeah, again, 3 hinges, so feels nice and sturdy. And then moving down from there is actually another opening window just in this small area here, again with fly screen and blackout blind there. You obviously have windows in the back doors, so there is plenty of natural light in the back here, which is quite nice. And then I should also just mention that there's a couple of speakers up at the top here, so at least when the stereo is on, you do have the sound pumped into the back of the van as well. That's not a huge amount of storage, is it, for a family of 4 away camping? But there is actually a fairly neat touch. And this portion of the bed folds up. There's a clip here just to secure it into place, and then that gives you access to all the storage down the bottom here. This side does also fold up as well if you need even more space across here, so that's quite nice. So let's have a look at what storage we've got. So starting at the front of this area, you've got a cupboard, which is fairly good size actually. You've got a shelf in there, so you've got a couple of areas you can put stuff. Moving further back, again, you've got another cupboard, but this is more for maintenance, access to services and stuff. So you can actually pull these panels off and get behind, and then that shows you, you know, what's that? That must be the water heater, I reckon, in there. And then switches for your water heater and all that kind of stuff. There's a few gas pipes and things. So yeah, services in there. Above that, you have a drop down cupboard for your ladder to get access up into the pop top. And then on the opposite side, at the front, you've got drawers, 1, 2, 3 drawers, and then you've got another big drawer, which is quite good, obviously, for your charging cable. They're all soft close. And then somewhere to put your gas locker. It is your gas locker. Somewhere to put your gas bottle. So there's not a bad amount of storage there. One thing I do quite like, well, first of all, on this side of the door you've got a big pocket that you can put stuff in, but on this side you've got a pocket and then a drop down table, which is quite nice. So if you wanted to do a little bit of prep work for cooking out here, you can do. So that's quite nice. Those windows in the back here, again, they don't open, but they have got blackout blinds. Obviously they don't need a fly screen because they don't open. And then you can see that pop top, how high up it goes at the back there. So even the back raises up, not just the front. So that's pretty smart. That's why there's so much space up there. Whilst we're just doing the last shots of this, I just want to show you this actually, because there's another couple of trekkers down here. Firstly, I want to show you in there. You can see what it's like without the table up. So that gives you a good idea. And also with the roof down, so you can see the skylight is quite nicely integrated into the rest of the van when the roof is down. But then secondly, this is £1,000 more its length, another ½ metre longer, and it's just interesting what it gives you. So if you have a look in here, all pretty much the same at the front here. I think this is all exactly the same. That's all the same up at the top. You still have your kitchen here, but you'll notice there's no fridge there. As you work further back, the fridge is now up here. It's one of those dual opening ones. You got cupboards, so drawers all down here. Again, washroom opposite, and that exact same bed layout at the back here, but it's just that slightly extra long kitchen. Not necessarily worktop, but it just moves the fridge and probably just gives you that little bit more storage. It also gives you an oven down the bottom there. And because there's no fridge there, you actually have a big cupboard there instead. So it's just an interesting, you know, you compromise by having ½ metre longer van, but you get a little bit more space potentially. Well, you do get more space, but it's probably just more storage really. So
let us know what you think of the Swift Trekker. This is new for 2024, so it's brand new come out. Let us know what you think about it. It's an interesting compromise between quite a shorter van, but also having that extra space upstairs means I think it would probably suit a family of 4 in a lot of ways. But what would you use it for? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. We've really enjoyed filming today for you. Thank you again to Dolphin Motorhomes. They've been fantastic in accommodating us and letting us film here. The van actually comes out at £70,995. And actually, these days, that is quite a bargain. But again, let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye.